So welcome here to my first makeup declutter of 2024. So just stay tuned to see what stays in my minimalist makeup collection and what changes I'm making in the future. Alright, I have 11 makeup products here beside me. Let's go category by category and see what we can get this down to. The first category is complexion, and I have 2 makeup products here to talk about, but the first one that I would put on in my makeup routine would be the concealer. So you all have heard about me talk about this concealer 1,000 times by now, so I'm really not going to go into too much detail. I will just say that it is, in my opinion, the best concealer on the planet, and this shade Custard, which is 2 medium, is a magic shade for me that takes me from winter to summer, whether I have a tan or not. It is medium coverage, it's very, very buildable and easily blendable. It's the perfect concealer. So absolutely not getting rid of that one. That one's going to stay. And next up is my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, another beloved one in my collection. I just use it to mattify a few certain areas, but unfortunately it is empty. There is nothing left. I can't even really show you what it looks like, but it does have like a blurring effect to the skin. So yes, this one is empty, so I am going to put this one in the declutter pile, but again, have no fear. I have one last Sephora sample left. This was a 100 points perk ages ago from Sephora. I have one more left to use, so this is the last Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and it is going to be heading back into my collection. This is just a nice full one. Okay, the next category is cheeks, and we are going to have some shockers here. Let's go with blush first, because that is the first thing that I wear in my routine. So this is the NARS Zen Blush. Absolutely love it. Very, very beautiful shade. It's more of a slightly less pigmented bronzer, but with a little bit of a pinkier hue. There it is there. Now, I love this product. I think it is fantastic. It is heading to the declutter pile though for one reason and one reason only. It is discontinued. It is no longer available, and I just honestly feel really bad using it here on my YouTube channel. I do want to use products that are available to you all, but this is an interesting one because it kind of goes against my minimalist principles, because it's a great product, it does exactly what I need, and there's so much left. But again, just being here on YouTube, I do want to ensure that what I'm using is available to you all. So the NARS Zen Blush will head to a great home. I imagine my mom will take it off my hands for me. But yes, sadly, this one is going to be heading to the declutter pile. Next up, NARS Laguna Bronzer, just a good straightforward bronzer. I've mentioned this a million times. I don't actually like luminescence in my bronzer. This one does have it. Oh, I didn't get a good enough swatch there. This one definitely does have, you know, some shimmer, some shine. So I would be looking for something matte next time, but it is just a beautiful warm bronzer. So is it perfect? No, but there is still a little bit of product left. Just a tiny little bit. It does keep cracking around the edges, so not quite sure how long this one will actually last for, but for now, the NARS Laguna bronzer is going to go to the keep pile. And finally for cheeks, my NARS Fort de France highlighter. This is going to shock probably everyone, but I am actually putting this one in the declutter pile. Is it because it is, you know, not a good product? No, it is absolutely amazing. Look at that glow, look at that shine. It is the perfect champagne color. It lasts a really long time. There is no chunky glitter. It is so beautiful. I have nothing but good things to say about this. So why then, Hannah, is it heading to the declutter pile? Well, it's actually kind of for health reasons. I noticed my son have a big chunk of like sparkly glitter on him one day on his cheek, and there was like a gigantic rash right on that area. And I did end up attributing it to this NARS highlighter. Now, I don't think that's anything against this highlighter. Like, I'm not coming for this highlighter. My son has ridiculously sensitive skin. And I could be wrong, it might not be this highlighter, but I'm just not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk anything that's gonna irritate my son's skin. And of course, just him being, you know, a little baby, he's always like up close on my face. So yeah, just not gonna happen. This one is actually going to head to the declutter pile. Which pains me because I could have used this amount of highlighter for the next like 10 years, but this one I'm going to say a loving goodbye to today. Okay, and the next step in my makeup routine would be brows, and the first thing that I would go in with is this brow pencil. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. Such an amazing product, but yeah, this one is done. It's like completely scratching my skin. It is empty, empty, empty. But have no fear, again, I have a replacement. So the empty one is heading to the declutter pile, and I am replacing it with a brand new fresh micro brow pencil. Now you've heard me talk about this product multiple times, but it is just so good. It's a really affordable option. It lasts really well, it doesn't deposit too much color, so I find, you know, there's a little bit of wiggle room. You don't just end up with a block brow. The colors are nice. It's just a great all-around product. So this one is heading back into my minimalist makeup collection, but that empty is heading to the declutter pile. Next up would be the Glossier Boy Brow, simply in the shade brown, if it'll come into focus there. Great product. Not the perfect color for me. It's slightly too warm, but other than that, it is pretty darn great. Now, the only thing about this is I found it went really fast. I'm almost done it. Not so much so that I am going to put it in the declutter pile. There's still, you know, definitely some left, but as you can see, it's not a crazy amount. Not that much got off the spoolie, so there's still enough for it to kick around in my collection, but I don't know if it would last through another declutter. But this product in general is just so good. It adds a fluffiness to your brows that's not like sticky or like gel. It adds more of a waxy finish to your brows, but still has a decent amount of hold. So it's just a fantastic product all around. The color is slightly too warm for me, but other than that, it is pretty darn great. All right, and the next category would be eyes, and the first thing that I would go in with here would actually be this eye pencil. So this is the NYX retractable eyeliner. Let's get this into focus, and it is just in the shade black. So it's a good eye pencil. It's not a great eye pencil. The more I use it, actually, I realize that it's not fantastic because of the lasting power. It's very creamy, very blendable. Like, look at that. Oh, that looks gorgeous, but it just doesn't have the lasting power. And I didn't know that because this was actually a product that I rarely used because I so frequently used liquid eyeliner. But now having this as my only eyeliner in my collection, I do realize that it just doesn't have great staying power. Now, I don't want to declutter it quite yet because I do still have, you know, a decent amount of product left, but I could see myself decluttering it in the future, just to be honest. If I only have one eyeliner, I want it to do the trick and I don't want it to like smudge all over my face, and that's what I'm finding is happening with this. It's smudging into my lower lash line if I put it on my upper. Don't love that, but again, just not quite ready to move on from it yet, so it'll head to the keep pile for now. All right, and finally for the eyes, we have the Rare Beauty, I think it's called the Perfect Strokes Volumizing Mascara. And my friends, I lied to you. I lied to you in my last video. I'm pretty sure I said that I would use this entire tube. Yeah, no, not going to happen because of a gift that I got for Christmas. I got this from my mother-in-law with a bunch of little samples, and you get to, you know, select one that you like and buy it full size. So I have a ton of mascara to try out, and I am not gonna waste my time on a mascara that, let's just say, doesn't suit me. The more I used this mascara, the more I disliked it, actually. It's just me. It's just because I like a very volumizing, easy to use mascara, and this just kept missing the mark for me. It's not a bad mascara by any stretch of the imagination, but I am very, very picky with my mascaras, and this one just, yeah, I don't love it. So it's not done. It's actually not done, but because I have so many other mascaras now to try out, yeah, I think this one can head to the declutter pile. So I'm going to say goodbye, a very happy goodbye. Usually it's a loving goodbye, but this time I don't mind saying goodbye to this Rare Beauty mascara. It just wasn't good just for me personally. But my friends, mascara isn't something that I like to experiment without in my collection, so I actually have decided just to like pick one of these to test out for now. So I'm going to be adding in this Too Faced, well, you can read the title, it's a little silly in my opinion, but hey, I bet you it sells mascara. So anyways, I am going to be adding this one into my collection, which I am so excited for because I tried this mascara years and years ago, and I remember it flaking, but I remember loving the effect so much. I just found that there was a tiny bit of flaking, and I remember it being quite dry, so maybe I got a bad tube or something like that. So I'm really excited to, you know, retry out this mascara. The Hourglass wand is definitely my favorite, and I much prefer a brush tip over those plastic tips. So it has everything going for it for me to like it, but again, not 100% sure if it will flake or not, but cannot wait to test it out and see. And the final category for makeup is lips, and the first of these two products that I would put on is this lip pencil. Now you've heard me talk about this lip pencil. This is my NYX retractable lip liner, simply in the shade Nude. I actually wear lip liners as lipstick. I just prefer it for a whole host of reasons, and this one is actually a really great lip liner. I also prefer retractable because I don't want to have a lip pencil sharpener on me. This one is just really, really good. It does last quite a long time, but it's still fairly blendable. It doesn't dry my lips out too much, and the color is nice. The color's not perfect. It's slightly too peachy for me. I would actually prefer to go with something that, you know, is a little more pinky next time, but hey, it's still good enough for now and is close enough to my natural lip color. So yeah, for an affordable option, this one is really, really good, and I am definitely going to be keeping it and using it up in my minimalist makeup collection. All right, and finally, we have the Glossier Transparent Lip Gloss. I'm sure you can see from the bottle, but this is completely empty. It is so empty. I keep pretending like it's not and opening it and using it, and yeah, there's literally no product left. There's none whatsoever. It is so empty, but this is a really, really great product. Now, will I be repurchasing this? Probably not. You're gonna have to wait and see what ends up in my minimalist makeup collection. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. I'm just gonna buy something with a little bit of color. So instead of a clear gloss, I'm gonna go with something that is colorful. So I am switching it up, but this is just a fantastic lip gloss. Highly recommend it. And you know, I loved using it up and was very grateful to have it in my collection. But for now, because it is empty, it is heading to the declutter pile. All right, my friends, let me bring in the declutter pile. Ooh, there we go. Okay, 6 makeup products. We have some empties, some just straight up declutters. And you know, for an extremely minimal collection, I'm actually pretty happy with this amount for a declutter. And I don't think I've done this before, but I'm gonna whisk all these items away and now show you all the items that I am keeping so we can have a little chat. All right, and those are all the items that I am keeping currently in my minimalist makeup collection. Now I wanted to chat about this because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 products here. That is not realistic, to be honest, for my makeup collection. This is going to be expanding fairly significantly throughout early 2024. I definitely need to fill in some gaps. I prefer to have a few more pieces, not too much more, but a few more pieces on hand than, you know, just these 8 products. You know, I enjoy having a blush. I enjoy having a highlight. I even enjoy having a lip gloss. So I do think that this is going to expand, but I am going to make do for now. I can get away with just wearing bronzer, and you know what? The fact that it is glowy actually might help me in this instance while I go without a highlight. There's always a silver lining, but anyways, I wanted to let you know that these 8 products isn't super realistic and reflective of my minimalist makeup collection. So you'll have to stay tuned for my 2024 minimalist makeup collection video that should be coming out fairly soon. And that, I imagine, will have a few more products in it. So I'm going to whisk these ones away. And now bonus, yeah, I bet you weren't expecting this. We're doing tools too. So the declutter pile might get even bigger, who knows? Let's bring in my makeup specific tools and see if there's anything to declutter from there. All right, there we go. So I already see one thing in this top corner here that I cannot wait to declutter. Yes, I am putting these Sephora eyelash curlers in the declutter pile. Again, I've probably said in the past that I'm going to keep these because I spent money on them, but I don't like them. They don't do what they're intended to do. Their one purpose is to curl my eyelashes, and they do not curl my eyelashes. So I can't do it anymore. I am sending these to the declutter pile. These Sephora eyelash curlers just weren't for me. Okay, and next up, my brushes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 9 here. And I think, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I think I am going to declutter this one right here. This is my MAC 240S, and I used to use it actually to blend in my concealer. And I just kind of had this revelation lately that anything with like a doe foot applicator, so, you know, any concealers, anything, you know, liquidy, creamy, I don't want to have a brush for. I can apply those no problem with my fingers. They seem to be the superior blending tool for those sorts of products. So I actually think I am going to declutter this one that I use for that NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Is it nice? Yeah, like, I mean, it is nice. It does a good job, but I really just don't need it. And I don't want to have a huge, you know, brush collection. And I think that rule could help me whittle down. So I'm going to declutter this one. And the rest here correspond to powder products, which is good. Well, at least some powder products. I don't have too many in my collection right now, but in the future, I hope to have a few more. So I think these 8 I am going to keep because, like I said, they all correspond with a powder in my collection. All right, let's do the final declutter pile, tools and all. There we go. So we have 8 things that we are getting rid of today. And again, for someone with very few products, that actually is quite substantial, especially over here in this cheek section. These 2 products have stayed the same, I believe, since the beginning of my channel. So definitely going to be shifting things up in 2024. And like I said, you're just gonna have to stay tuned to see the evolution of my minimalist makeup collection in 2024. All right, everyone, well, that is it. That is everything that I'm getting rid of from my minimalist makeup collection. And as always, I hope this video serves only as inspiration to you. This is far less about the products and far more about just being intentional and, at least for me, living my life under like this minimalist umbrella. And makeup is an area that I think I've mentioned, but it can get out of control quite quickly because I love makeup. So it's an area that I need to be even more intentional with. And for me, at least, that means regularly decluttering my makeup collection, seeing what works for me or doesn't work for me, depending on what season of life I'm in. And this time around, we ended up with a super small collection, but like I said, I am definitely going to be adding a few items in, and this collection is going to grow in 2024. So I hope that you enjoyed coming along on my first declutter of 2024. It feels good to be back in the swing of things. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here, and I really hope to catch you in my next minimalism video. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.